Hello students. In mechanical properties of fluid, today we will study about viscosity, velocity gradient, coefficient of viscosity, Stokes law, terminal velocity, and equation of continuity. If we pour water from a glass, it flows freely and quickly. But when we pour syrup or honey, it flows slowly and sticks to the container. And this difference is due to the fluid friction. This friction is both within the fluid itself and between the fluid and its surrounding. This property of fluid is called as viscosity. Water has low viscosity as it flows freely, and the syrup or honey flows slowly because its viscosity is high. See the diagram. This shows a schematic section of viscous flow, and the second one is the non-viscous flow. There is no dragging force in the non-viscous flow, and all layers are moving with same velocity. And see in this diagram, the layers flows with different velocities. The magnitude of arrow, the length of arrow indicates the magnitude of velocity. Means the velocity of this central layer is high and it goes on decreasing as we move from this point to this or from this layer to this layer. In this non-viscous, all layers are moving with same velocity. Viscosity of such a fluid is zero. The only fluid that is almost non-viscous is liquid helium at about 2 Kelvin. In this section, we will study viscosity of fluid and how it affects the flow of fluid. If we observe the flow of water, river water, it is found that water near both sides of river bank flows slowly, and as we move towards the center of the river, the water flows faster gradually. At the center, the flow is fastest. From this observation, it is clear that there is some opposing force between two adjacent layers of fluids which affect their relative motion. आपण बघितलंय नदी किनाऱ्याला साईडने म्हणजे किनाऱ्याला व्हेलॉसिटी कमी असते. जसं जसं आपण आतमध्ये जाऊ तशी व्हेलॉसिटी ही इन्क्रीज होत जाते. Viscosity is that property of fluid by virtue of which the relative motion between different layers of fluid experience a dragging force, and this force is called as viscous force. In liquid, the viscous drag is due to short-range molecular cohesive force, and in gases, it is due to collision between fast-moving molecules. In both cases, that is in liquid and gases, the relative velocity between the layer is small. The viscous drag is proportional to relative velocity. But in turbulent flow, the viscous drag increases rapidly and is not proportional to relative velocity but proportional to higher power of relative velocity. Now consider a layer which is at distance x from the stationary layer moving with velocity v. The layer below this is moving with v minus dv, means it is a slower moving layer which is at distance x minus dx, and the upper one is faster moving layer with velocity v plus dv which is at distance x plus dx. Means as we move dx distance to downward, then velocity changes by dv, velocity decreases by dv, and vice versa. Means if we move at a distance dx above, then the velocity increases with dv. And this change in velocity with respect to distance is called as velocity gradient. The rate of change of velocity with distance measured from a stationary layer is called as velocity gradient. According to Newton's law of viscosity, for a streamline flow, viscous force F acting on any layer is directly proportional to the area A of the layer and velocity gradient dv by dx. न्यूटनच्या न्यूटनचा जो लॉ आहे विस्कॉसिटीचा त्यानुसार विस्कस फोर्स हा ए ला प्रपोर्शनल असतो म्हणजे एरियाला आणि व्हेलॉसिटी ग्रेडियंटला प्रपोर्शनल असतो अँड हेन्स वी कॅन राईट एफ इज प्रपोर्शनल टू ए इंटू डीव्ही अपॉन डीएक्स. प्रपोर्शनलिटी साइन इक्वल साइन रिप्लेस केलं तर कॉन्स्टंट लिहावा लागतो अँड हेन्स एफ इज इक्वल टू इटा ए dv upon dx, where eta is constant called as coefficient of viscosity of the liquid. From this equation, we can write value of eta as eta equals to eta एका बाजूला ठेवा, बाकी सगळा टर्म दुसरीकडे शिफ्ट करा, दुसऱ्या साइडला शिफ्ट करा. We'll get a eta equals to f upon a dv upon dx. Here a is area of the layer parallel to the direction of flow. The coefficient of viscosity means eta can be defined as the viscous force per unit area per unit velocity gradient. Now from this formula we can derive SI unit and CGS unit. SI unit of viscosity is Newton second per meter square and CGS unit is poise. We can find the relation between these two by using dimensional analysis, isn't it? Microscopic view of viscosity. For this, consider the laminar flow between the plates X and Y as shown in the figure. Plate X is stationary and Y moves with some velocity. Okay, Y moves with some velocity. VO suppose. Layers A, B and C move with velocity V minus dV, V and V plus dV respectively. Consider two adjacent layers B and C. The velocity of the fluid is equal to mean velocity of the molecule. In the layer B is V. The velocity of the fluid is equal to mean velocity of the molecule contained in that layer. Means the mean velocity of molecule in layer B is V, while the molecules in layer C have velocity greater than V, that is V plus dV, and as we move from B to A, it is moving with V minus dV. As we have learned, we will learn in the next chapter that each molecule possesses a random velocity whose magnitude is usually larger than that of the mean velocity. And hence molecules are continuously transferred in large numbers between two layers. On the average, molecules passing from layer C to B, upper to lower, will be moving too fast from their new layer by an amount dV and will slow down as a result of collision with the molecules in layer B. The result is a transfer of momentum from faster moving layer to their neighboring slower moving layer such as B and thus eventually to plate X. Because the original source of this transfer of momentum is plate Y, the overall result is a transfer of momentum from Y to X. If there are no external force applied, this momentum transfer would reduce speed of plate Y to 0 with respect to X. Reduction in the velocity of the molecule in the direction of laminar flow is due to the fact that their directions after collision are random. This randomness we will study in next chapter, which is result in an increase in thermal energy of the fluid at the cost of its macroscopic kinetic energy. That is, the process is dissipative or frictional. In liquid, there is an additional stronger interaction between molecules in adjacent layers due to the intermolecular force that distinguish liquid and gases. As a result, there is a transfer of momentum from faster moving layer to slower moving layer. Now remember, coefficient of viscosity of fluid changes with change in its temperature. For example, ghee. For most liquid, the coefficient of viscosity decreases with increase in temperature. Means if we heat ghee, then its viscosity decreases and we can pour it easily. It probably depends on the fact that at higher temperature, the molecules are further apart and the cohesive force are or intermolecular force is less effective. And in case of gases, the coefficient of viscosity increases with increase in temperature. This is because at high temperature, the molecules move faster and collide more often with each other, which gives rise to increased internal friction. Now, see the table, which shows value of coefficient of viscosity at different temperature. Fluid means liquid and gases. Coefficient of viscosity of air at 0 is 0.017 into 10 raised to minus 3. That at 40 degree is 0.019 into 10 raised to minus 3. वॉटरचा आहे 20 डिग्रीला 1 into 10 raised to minus 3. 100 ला आहे 0.3 into 10 raised to minus 3. In short 3 into 10 raised to minus 4. आणि इथे हे जर 10 raised to minus 4 मध्ये केले तर 0.17 येतील, 0.19 येतील 10 raised to minus 4 च्या कंपॅरिझनने. एअरची विस्कॉसिटी 0.19. इथे इथे काय येणार आहे 3 येणार आहे, वॉटरची जास्त राहील ॲज कम्पेअर टू एअर. हा, आणि मशीन ऑइल म्हणजे ग्रीस नाही का, ते जरा थिक असतं. 16 डिग्रीला त्याचे आहे 1 into 10 raised to minus 4, 1.13 into 10 raised to minus 4. आणि 38 ला आहे 0.34 into 10 raised to minus 4. Now Stokes law. In 1845, Sir George Gabriel Stokes stated the law which gives the viscous force acting on spherical object falling through a viscous medium. See, there is a tube which contains viscous liquid, and if a small viscous liquid like glycerin, if we drop a small sphere आपण त्याच्यामधून जर टाकले तर त्याला खाली पोहोचण्यासाठी, बॉटमला पोहोचण्यासाठी लागणारा टाइम काउंट केला, त्याच्यावरती एक्झर्ट होणारा त्याची रेडियस कन्सिडर केली आर असेल, त्याची व्हेलॉसिटी जर व्ही असेल आणि कोइफिशियंट ऑफ विस्कॉसिटी ऑफ द फ्लुइड इटा असेल, तर त्यावरती एक्झर्ट होणारा फोर्स हा ज्या फॉर्म्युलाने काढला जातो त्याला स्टोक्स फॉर्म्युला म्हणतात. ओके. आणि ह्या एक्सपेरिमेंटसाठी जर तुम्ही पुढे सायन्स घेतलं, म्हणजे फिजिक्स प्युअर सायन्स घेतलं आणि फिजिक्स असेल तुमचं, तर त्यामध्ये तुम्हाला हा एक्सपेरिमेंट करता येतो. त्यासाठी जे आपले ट्यूब लाईट असतात ना जुन्या, लाईक दॅट, एक कसा ट्यूब वापरली जाते, त्याच्यामध्ये विस्कस लिक्विड म्हणजे ग्लिसरीन असतं आणि त्यातून एक स्पियर ड्रॉप करायचा असतो आणि त्यावरून पुढचा डेरिवेशन काढायचं आहे, फॉर्म्युला काढायचा आहे. काय तो बघा. द लॉ स्टेट दॅट द विस्कस फोर्स acting on small sphere falling through viscous medium is directly proportional to the radius of the sphere, its velocity v, and coefficient of viscosity eta. Means F is proportional to eta RV. We can derive the value of constant as by using dimensional analysis actually formula can be derived by using dimensional analysis, and the empirical value, experimental value actually is 6 pi, and hence force is equal to 6 pi eta RV is the expression for viscous force acting on small spherical object moving through viscous medium. Now we will solve this example. A steel ball with radius 0.3 millimeter is falling with velocity 2 meter per second at time t through a tube filled with glycerin. सेम आहे एक्झाम्पल जे मी स्टोक्स लॉला सांगितलं ते. Having coefficient of viscosity 0.833 Newton second per meter square. Determine viscous force acting on the steel ball at that time. Okay. Given data लिहायचा अगोदर. Radius 0.3 mm means 0.3 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. Velocity v 2 meter per second. Eta 0.833. ओके हा eta आहे. आणि फॉर्म्युला काय 6 pi eta RV. Therefore, we will get value of F as 9.422 into 10 raised to minus 3 Newton. Now, terminal velocity. Consider a spherical object falling through a viscous fluid. Force experienced by it during its downward motion is viscous force directed upward, and its magnitude goes on increasing with increasing velocity. Second force is, see the situation is like this. Forces acting on object moving through viscous medium. Okay. Second force is gravitational force or its weight mg directed downward. And third one is buoyant force or of thrust directed upwards. Now net downward force is given by F is equal to Fg minus Fv plus Fu. What is Fg? Fg is gravitational force. Fv is Fu. This one is Fu, and previous one is Fv, viscous force. Fv plus Fu. Fg मधून मायनस करायचे आणि जो काही उरेल तो नेट डाउनवर्ड फोर्स, and this net downward force is responsible for initial increase in the velocity of that bob, of that object. Among the given force, Fg and Fu are constant while Fv increases with increase in velocity. Means a stage reached when a net force F becomes zero, and at this stage Fg equals to Fu plus Fv. After that, downward velocity remains constant. This constant velocity is called as terminal velocity. Obviously, the viscous force is also constant. And no doubt, this discussion applies to streamline flow. Now, to derive the expression for terminal velocity, consider a small spherical object falling under gravity through viscous medium. Let radius of the sphere be r. Its mass is m and density is rho. Let the density of the medium is sigma. Density of the sphere is rho, and its coefficient of viscosity is eta. When the sphere attains the terminal velocity, the total downward force acting on the sphere is balanced by total upward force acting on the sphere. And hence, total downward is equal to total upward. Downward is mg, which is equal to upward means viscous force plus buoyant force due to the medium. डाउनवर्ड फोर्स म्हणजे कोणता? मास एम इंटू जी. एम कसा काढणार मास? तर डेन्सिटी इंटू व्हॉल्यूम. डेन्सिटी रो, व्हॉल्यूम काय स्पियरचा? 4/3 पाय आर क्यूब. And hence 4/3 pi r cube rho g is equal to viscous force given by Stokes law 6 pi eta rp. And buoyant force is again mg, where mass is density into volume. Density is sigma, volume is 4/3 pi r cube. जर ऑब्जेक्ट स्पेरिकल आहे तर ती लिक्विडचा मीडियमचा किती व्हॉल्यूम ऑक्युपाय करेल? तर त्याच्या शेप इतकाच म्हणजे स्पियर इतकाच. अँड हेच हिअर वी कॅन राईट ॲज 4/3 पाय आर क्यूब सिग्मा जी. रिशफलिंग करा, ही स्टेप मिळेल 6 पाय इटा हर आर व्ही इक्वल्स टू 4/3 कॉमन पाय आर क्यूब जी कॉमन इन ब्रॅकेट रो मायनस सिग्मा. व्हीचे एक्सप्रेशन डिराईव्ह करायचं तो एका बाजूला ठेवा. काय मिळेल? 4/3 पाय आर क्यूब जी इंटू रो मायनस सिग्मा इंटू 1/6 पाय इटा आर. सिम्प्लिफाय केल्यानंतर मिळेल 2/9 आर स्क्वेअर जी रो मायनस इटा रो मायनस सिग्मा अपॉन इटा. This is the expression for terminal velocity. And from this we can write expression for eta as 2/9 r square rho minus sigma into g upon v. हे न्यूमरिकल बघून घ्या. आता जे आपण टर्मिनल व्हेलॉसिटीचा प्रॉब्लेम एक्सप्रेशन सॉल्व्ह केलं त्याच्यावरचाच आहे. स्पेरिकल ड्रॉप ऑफ ऑइल फॉल्स ॲट कॉन्स्टंट स्पीड of 4 centimeter per second in steady air. Calculate radius of the drop. The density of the oil is 0.9 gram per cm cube. Density of air is 1 gram per cm cube. And the coefficient of viscosity is 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 4 points. बघा सर्व काही CGS युनिट मध्ये आहे. Write down given data first, then use the proper formula eta equals to 2/9 r square rho minus sigma g upon v. यावरून r काढता येईल अंडर रूट 9 eta v डिवाइड बाय 2 रो मायनस सिग्मा इंटू जी. सिम्प्लिफाय करून हा 0.574 मिळेल. The velocity with which an object can move through viscous fluid is always less than or equal to terminal velocity in that fluid for that object. Correct. Now equation of continuity. Consider a steady flow of an incompressible fluid as shown in the figure. For steady flow, the velocity of particle remains constant at given point, but it can vary from point to point. For example, consider section A1 and A2. A1, A2. Section A1 has larger cross-sectional area than A2. Let V1 and V2 be the velocities of the fluid at section A1 and A2. This is because a particle has to move faster in the narrower section where there is less space. Narrow section means space is small. Means particle has to move faster in the narrow section to accommodate particles behind it, hence its velocity increases. When a particle enters a wider section, it slows down because there is a more space. Because the fluid is incompressible, the particle moves faster through a narrow section and slows down while moving through wider section. If the fluid does not move faster in narrow, it will compress to fit into the narrow space. Consider a tube of flow as shown in the figure. All the fluid that passes through a tube of flow must pass through any cross section that cuts the tube. We know that all the fluid is confined to the tube of flow. Fluid cannot leave the tube or enter the tube. Consider section A1, A2 located at A and B. Matter is neither created nor destroyed within the tube enclosed between A1 and A2. Therefore, mass of the fluid within this region is constant over time. That means if M mass of the fluid enter this section A1, then equal mass of fluid should leave the section A2. जितकं लिक्विड ए मधून पास एंटर करतं तेवढंच A2 मधून पास होतंय, बाहेर पडेल. Let the liquid let the speed of the fluid which crosses the section EFGH. Let the speed of the fluid which crosses this first section at point A in time interval delta t be V1. Suppose that the speed of the fluid which passes through this section is V1 in time delta t, and the speed of liquid which passes through this section PQRS is V2 in time delta t. Thus, the mass of the fluid leaving the tube through the section at B is rho into A2 into V2 into delta t. As the fluid is incompressible, the mass of the fluid entering tube at A is same as mass leaving tube at B. Mass of the fluid in this first section is equal to mass of fluid in this second section. Means rho A1 V1 delta T is equal to rho A2 V2 delta T. But A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2 or AV is equal to constant, and hence AV is the volume rate of flow of fluid, that is AV is equal to dV upon dt. The quantity dV upon dt is the volume of fluid per unit time passing through any cross section of the tube of flow. It is called the volume flux. Similarly, P into dV by dt is equal to dm by dt is called mass flux. This equation is called, which equation? 40. A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2 is called equation of continuity in fluid dynamics. The continuity equation says that volume rate of flow of an incompressible fluid for a steady flow is same throughout the flow. When the water is released from a dam, the amount of water is mentioned in terms of million cubic feet. 1 TMC is 10 raised to 9 cubic feet of water per second. Basic unit of measuring flow is cubic. किती क्युसेक पाणी सोडलं धरणातून असं जेव्हा आपण वाचतो ते याच्यामध्ये असतं. त्याचा युनिट हे मिलियन क्युबिक फीट आणि 1 क्युसेक इज 1 cubic feet per second, means 28.317 liter per second. बघा हे न्यूमरिकल as shown in figure. A piston of cross-sectional area 2 centimeter square push the liquid out of tube whose area at the outlet is 40 mm square. The piston is pushed at a rate of 2 centimeter per second. Determine the speed at which fluid leaves the tube. ओके, आता इथे काय दिलेलं आहे ते लिहा. A1 2 centimeter square, 2 into 10 raised to -4 meter square. V1 2 centimeter per second, means 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter per second. A2 is given 40 mm square, means 40 into 10 raised to minus 6 meter square. Now from the equation of continuity, A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. यावरून V2 कॅल्क्युलेट करायचं, A1 V1 अपॉन A2. सिम्प्लिफाय करून आपल्याला मिळेल 0.1 meter per second. This is the speed at which fluid leaves the tube. 0.1 meter per second. आणि ही काय होती 0.02 into 10 raised to minus 2 ना, means 0.02 meter per second. हे कुठलं होतं एंटरिंग साठी होतं वेलॉसिटी 0.02 आणि इथे काय होते फास्ट होते नॅरो एंडला म्हणून ती 0.1. ओके, थँक्यू.